local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Special regional information. The regional forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen. You're watching the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate, dependable weather forecasts 24 hours a day.
This morning's weather is sponsored by 100% Colombian coffee, the richest coffee in the world.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. 2 before the hour. I'm Bruce Edwards here with Cheryl Lemke. Thank you for joining us. It's an active day across the midsection of the country, and that's responsible for some delays at the airport, specifically Stapleton Airport in Denver reporting delays due to some snow and some fog there. Snow in St. Louis coming down to beat the band, and they got to slow it down so they can get some of the runways cleared, so delays are there. While in Atlanta, we've got meteorological goulash. We have reports around the city of snow, sleet, and rain, and delays there with normal traffic delays ranging to 35 minutes. Satellite picture cranks up and shows the storm cranking up. You notice a sort of an ugly blob to start with, but as it goes into motion, you notice how it's taking on more of that comma shape. That shows you the low is intensifying, drawing the moisture across Texas into the Tennessee and Mississippi Valley and wrapping through the plains. Widespread snow, some ice mixed in for good measure, and some pretty good-sized thunderstorms into eastern Texas. Another low-pressure system right here off the west coast is creating some moisture into central California, and you can see a few showers. San Francisco seen some rain. Right now, even San Bernardino, a light shower with some snow in Blue Canyon. But by and large, it's quiet in the west. But the low offshore will be sliding onshore later on today and enhance the chances for rain in central California. Right now, along the Continental Divide, back and through Idaho, Boise, Grangeville, Mountain Home, Idaho, Pocatello, all snow. Ogden, Salt Lake City, and expands on in towards the Denver metro area. Laramie and Casper, Wyoming with some snow this morning. And then we get back to the snow in the Plains states. A little bit of ice mixed in around Lincoln and Omaha, Nebraska with the snow, but primarily snow from the Dakotas down through the plains, and especially heavy in a band running from north central Kansas right around the periphery here towards St. Louis. Moderate to heavy snowfall. Now, snowfall totals so far overnight: Columbia, Missouri, 9 inches, St. Louis 7, still coming down at a moderate clip there, and it's expanding to the east. Paducah, Kentucky, 4 inches. Springfield, Missouri now with snow and a little bit of freezing rain and drizzle, and that's the problems from southeastern Kansas, Wichita, freezing drizzle, Joplin, Springfield, Missouri to Cape Girardeau, a snow and a sleet mixture right now. And then you get into Chattanooga, the same story. Some snow in Nashville over towards Knoxville, but a little bit of sleet mixed with some snow and some rain around Atlanta, Georgia. And then rain and heavy thunderstorms in the warm sector of air firing up over eastern Texas, where a tornado watch is in effect till 11 a.m. Central Standard Time today. That's your big picture. Here's our national radar, and you can see the big storms into Texas and the moisture just wrapping around that low pressure system. There are your storms right now, erupting from El Dorado, Texarkana, moderate to heavy rain to Longview. That's GGG, and back over towards Waco. Heavy thunderstorms here. The whole line is moving slowly southeast. The individual thunderstorms racing east at 40 miles an hour. As we head to the north, moderate snow around Kansas City, moderate snows towards Columbia and St. Louis, but we get down to Joplin and Springfield, some ice here, and the snow and ice extend back towards Nashville, and right now we're near Memphis. It is plain old rain with the meteorological goulash showing up across northern sections of Georgia, with Fulton County Airport in Atlanta reporting some rain showers, but around Dobbins Air Force Base, a little sleet and snow mixture, and some snow up into the North Georgia mountains extending on towards Anderson, although it's not reaching the ground at the present time. Cheryl and our forecaster straight ahead.
We should have a classical egg.
Don't you think?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, rich and humanist admiration.
Yes.
Coffee is served.
Yes, indeed, there is.
With
Colombian coffee. Excuse me.
100% Colombian coffee, hand-picked by Juan Valdez, the richest coffee in the world.
Look for the symbol of Juan Valdez on these fine 100% Colombian coffee brands.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. The regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. The extended forecast. Your local radar, showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
This edition of the Good Morning Forecast is sponsored by Shoney's Restaurants. And for today, we have winter in full force. A big wintertime storm system is cranking away across the nation's heartland, and that storm system will be migrating eastward across the Tennessee Valley for later this afternoon. Anywhere north of the low, we'll see lots of snow and ice, but farther towards the south, the showers and the thunderstorms. Expecting some very heavy snows, especially across Missouri and Illinois and Indiana, and extending eastward over across Elkins, West Virginia. In time, there could be anywhere from 6 to 12 inches worth of snowfall, so certainly a significant snow event out across the nation's heartland. Again, farther towards the south, though, the showers and the thunderstorms, and they could be pretty nasty today across Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Farther towards the west, a new low pressure system will be taking aim on California. As it spins in a little bit of energy and some moisture, there will be a few sprinkles today around San Francisco Bay and some snow too across the Sierra Nevada. At the same time, a weaker system, though, slicing right across the Rockies, will be activating some snow around Salt Lake City and around Denver. Temperatures pretty chilly throughout most of the west. 40s west of the Cascades from Seattle and Quileute and southward down towards Medford, Oregon. Colder still east of the Cascades, and throughout most of the Rockies and down towards the rim country, it's certainly going to look and feel like winter today. More snow, though, and again, the heavier snows from Missouri and southern Illinois and southern Indiana. A little stripe of heavy snow from St. Louis through around Belleville, Illinois, down through Evansville. Even Louisville could see close to a foot of snowfall before it's all said and done. And temperatures very cold and frigid, too, throughout the nation's heartland. In the northeast, lots of sunshine for New England. Increasing clouds, though, for the rest of the northeast, and a chance for some snow developing late in the day across the Ohio Valley. And temperatures very chilly for this time of the year. Highs throughout the entire northeast, averaging some 15 to 20 degrees colder than usual. Across the southeast, we've had a wintry mix for the Atlanta metro area. Some snow, sleet, and freezing rain, but that should be turning over to rainfall by late in the day with thunderstorms for Texas.
How many bowls of this cereal would it take to equal the nutritional value of the fresh fruit, eggs, grits, and bacon on Shoney's breakfast bar? Well, it depends on how big your bowl is. Cereal, bananas, peaches, melons, fruit salad, cottage cheese, bacon, scrambled eggs, sausage, potatoes, blueberry muffins, biscuits, country milk gravy, grits.
Shoney's Breakfast Bar, the best breakfast in town.
No matter how hot that car looks, the wrong gasoline could make your performance fizzle. May we suggest high-octane Chevron Supreme, the only premium with tech-related to help fire up your performance. Chevron, simply smarter.
Good morning. It's 7 minutes past the hour. Let's check out the last weekend in February. And we look at the jet stream. Looks pretty benign. And then I get out of the way and show you this problem. That's the upper level low over California. And that will come slipping across the Rockies into the plains by Monday. And that will mean March comes in roaring like a lion with unsettled weather as we start the new month on Monday. Now, the temperatures overall are going to be cool across most of the country. Now, Friday's going to be warm in South Florida ahead of the cold front, but then that'll start to slip its way across the peninsula, and then we'll see things cool a little bit. Still 70s, though, Central and South Florida through the weekend, so not bad at all. Temperatures modify over the northern plains and the Great Lakes, some 30s. These are not bad at all, but the 50s and 40s still over the southeast are below normal for this time of year. We're not going to see any relief really in sight. Matter of fact, a little pool of cool 20s will be dropping on in off the Rockies into the western plain states. The storm that's now wreaking havoc over the midsection of the country moves to the Appalachians tonight and the Atlantic seaboard tomorrow. And that means some fairly heavy snows in the central mountains and on into the Piedmont of the Virginias, ice down into Carolina, showers and storms to Florida. Then we see something that looks fairly innocuous, a few showers, little low pressure system here. That will deepen and we will see more moisture and more showers and storms into Southern California Saturday. Snows in the mountains while things quiet down in the east. So not looking good for round 3 action at the LA Open at the Riviera Country Club, but it should move out by Sunday as it moves into the Four Corners with some snow and little ice and rain break out into Texas on Sunday as that low travels along the Rio Grande Valley. And that means Monday starts out rather unsettled with showers and storms, some ice and snow through the heartland of the country.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Special regional information. The regional forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
16 years ago, the Viking spacecraft took this amazing picture of the planet Mars. Do you see a face? NASA says you're seeing a trick of light and shadow. Science writer and former NASA consultant Richard C. Hoagland says NASA is hiding the truth. Now, for the first time, see and hear secrets about the existence of extraterrestrial life that have been guarded behind the closed doors of NASA. In the important video, The Monuments of Mars, a Terrestrial Connection. See the amazing similarity between this face on Mars and the ancient Sphinx in Egypt. Learn what connects this part of the Martian landscape called Cydonia and this countryside near England's mysterious Stonehenge. Hear and see other scientific evidence that we have been visited by beings from other worlds. Order The Monuments of Mars, a Terrestrial Connection, a 90-minute video for $19.95. Act now to receive your personal copy.
Well, early on in the week, we had a low pressure system that was trekking across the northeast, and it did bring some appreciable snowfall throughout the area. We even had some leftover snow yesterday, but now all of that has faded away, and we're watching a big winter storm system that's still revving up across the nation's heartland. That system will be marching towards the east-northeast, and in time it could be spreading some snowfall for southern sections of New England. Now around Sunday River, 3 inches of new snow to report, with 72 trails open for business. More fresh powder too around Killington and around Loon Mountain. And we've also had some snowfall for Waterville Valley and for Snowshoe, West Virginia. Here's our forecast then, as we're calling for today. The storm will be pressing again towards the east-northeast. A stripe of some heavy snows for sections of southern Illinois, southern Indiana, over towards Louisville, and more snow too across the central Appalachians. And again, some of that snow will start to spread northward. In time, there will be some snow around the Berkshires, across the Catskills, and some pretty good snows too across the Laurel Mountains of Pennsylvania.
For ski conditions at over 400 other ski areas, call 1-900-WEATHER.
Give me your money.
If this reminds you of the last seafood restaurant
I like the watch.
you ordered shrimp in, maybe you ought to try Shoney's.
Give me the ring. Now give me the toupee.
How's your Shoney's spaghetti, Bobby?
Swell.
And how's your shrimp, dear?
Just swell. How's your steak, honey?
Swell.
I signed up for tuba lessons.
Swell.
Shoney's Breakfast Bar, the best breakfast in town.
Mothers have learned from countless doctors and pharmacists to take care of coughs with Robitussin. And they've taken this advice home. Robitussin, recommended by Dr. Mom. Ask your doctor or pharmacist.
Thanks to Smart Rate from the Discover card, interest charges now have a whole new bottom line. Smart Rate, currently as low as 14.9%. It pays to Discover.
It's 13 minutes now past the hour. There are delay programs still in effect for airports such as Atlanta's Hartsfield Airport, also around Denver and Salt Lake City due to snow removal. So you want to check ahead with your airlines because it's going to be some slow going in the midsection. Now here's a look at some destination forecasts that you will find when you step off the plane.
Call the Weather Channel Connection, 1-900-WEATHER, before you hit the road, and you'll be prepared for any weather Old Man Winter brings.
This quality adjustable bed costs 50% less than these 3 quality flatbeds. 50% less. Yet Craftmatic offers these advantages over flatbeds. First, it adjusts electrically at the touch of a button, so you can read in bed, watch TV in bed, snack, chat on the phone, do a crossword puzzle, and relax and sleep in wonderful comfort. Plus, if you suffer from low back pain or edema or swelling of the legs, unlike any ordinary flatbed, an adjustable bed may temporarily provide relief. Call toll-free to receive this free adjustable bed catalog by mail. Get the facts about the adjustable bed that costs 50% less than all 3 of these quality flatbeds. 50% less. Call for your free catalog now.
Call toll-free 1-800-831-2500. That's 1-800-831-2500. Call toll-free 1-800-831-2500. If you're about to travel, watch the 5-Day Business Planner here on the Weather Channel at 20 minutes after every hour. You get a comprehensive national report that covers the forecast over the next 5 days. Watch the 5-Day Business Planner coming up soon on the Weather Channel. Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast. Current radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
You are here. She has the traveler's checks here. Uh-oh. Well, how about American Express Traveler's Checks for Two? The only checks either of you can use. Don't leave home without them.
You can pick up your American Express Traveler's Checks for Two at participating AAA locations.
Give me your money.
If this reminds you of the last seafood restaurant
I like the watch.
you ordered shrimp in, maybe you ought to try Shoney's.
Give me the ring. Now give me the toupee.
How's your Shoney's spaghetti, Bobby?
Swell.
And how's your shrimp, dear?
Just swell. How's your steak, honey?
Swell.
I signed up for tuba lessons. Swell.
Shoney's Breakfast Bar, the best breakfast in town.
A rough morning commute from the Central Plains and all the way down across the Deep South. There's a big winter storm system that's twirling across the Plain States, spreading the snow across Nebraska and Iowa. More snow, too, around South Dakota. And that snowy weather has been as far south as the Atlanta metro area. In fact, still around Atlanta, we have that wintry mix of some snow, some light freezing rain, some freezing drizzle, too, and a little bit of sleet. So just a real messy day across northern sections of Georgia, and especially over the northeastern Georgia mountains, right around Rabun County. We've had reports of 1.5 inches of snowfall up around Clayton. So there especially, please drive with extra care this morning. Well, this winter storm will continue to pull towards the east and the northeast, spreading that swath of snow and ice through the afternoon. Down across the south, though, some showers and some thunderstorms. They may be rather nasty across Texas and Louisiana. Winds, too, picking up across the south, and some locally dense fog across the plains.
Now, from the Weather Channel, the enemy wind. 45 minutes of tornado action. Watch as a daring storm chaser goes for up-close pictures. Then see the enemy wind, the Weather Channel documentary on nature's destructive force. Plus the 1993 tornado calendar. 13 dramatic photos and tales of tornado oddities. Call 1-800-525-6600 to own the enemy wind and the tornado calendar, all for just $19.95. Call now and charge by phone or send check or money order to the address on the screen. Call now.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. The intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
The 5-Day Business Planner is sponsored by the Discover Card. It pays to discover the card that pays you back. And as we check out the weather maps for your travels over the next 5 days, heading through the weekend and into the first of next week, we'll be watching this one storm for the end of the week cause problems. This is doing today across the southern plains, Mississippi and Tennessee valleys. It'll be advancing east, and as it does, it'll spread the snow and fairly heavy snows forecast for the central plains, the Ohio and mid-Mississippi Valley, and tonight and tomorrow it slides into the Appalachians. So a word to the wise, if you have some traveling to do across the mid-Atlantic states, do it today, because tomorrow it's going to be awfully nasty with some ice and some snow, and some of that snow will be rather heavy. Rain and some thunderstorms down across North Florida tomorrow, drier and quieter across the southern plains states, just a few flurries in the Rockies, and this low stirs up a few showers across central California. The high temperatures today will be coldest in northern Maine and the northern plains, some single-digit readings there. A little chilly with teens to the north, cool across the mid and south Atlantic states with 30s and 40s, but hot in South Texas. Look at those 80s on tap for today. Tomorrow morning, we drop below zero northern and central New England and across the Canadian border areas. Otherwise, a chilly morning across most of the country, but not bitterly cold. And really, the trend for the next few days will be moderating temperatures in the north. That means at or above normal, and it's going to stay rather cool through the south. We'll get rid of the 80s in Florida by Sunday as the front and the cool air sweeps on through, so it'll still be comfortable, but not as warm, with some 70s there. And you notice the 50s and 40s 40s here. These are below normal readings for this time of year, while the 30s are right at or slightly above normal. By Monday, you notice it does cool down across the Rockies and the Western Plains as the next storm slides in off the Rockies. Here's storm number 1 that we're watching today. It'll move to the mid-Atlantic and the big headaches here tomorrow. So once again, do what you can do today to get out of the elements for tomorrow, because it's going to be a real mess here. But then that'll depart Saturday, and things go downhill in the west as an upper low spins in some moisture, rain and thunderstorms in Southern California, snows in the mountains. That works. It's in the Colorado and New Mexico and across the plains on Sunday. As we say adios to February, and we greet March like a lion coming in through the plains with snow, ice, rain, and thunder down into Texas. Otherwise, it comes in like a lamb elsewhere.
If you find the interest rate on your credit card to be rather high, you should know about Smart Rate from the Discover card. With Smart Rate, the more you choose the Discover card when making purchases, the lower your rate can be. And the Discover card still charges no annual fee. Now, doesn't that put everything in a whole new perspective? Smart Rate, as low as 14.9%. Check your mail for your pre-approved application. It pays to Discover.
When I was a kid, I went to bed every night fearing that there was this big monster who lived under my bed. But now that I'm 42 and on the road a lot, things are different. Oh, I still believe in the monster. But now I worry that while I'm asleep in my motel room, he'll crawl out and make lots of phone calls that show up on my bill when I check out. I'm sure glad I put that behind me before I turn 43.
Stay satisfied. Stay with Travelodge.
And a good Thursday morning to you. Thanks for tuning into the Weather Channel. We're checking out the airports, and we do have a few airport delays, including Atlanta, 35-minute delays, where we've seen a wintry mix this morning with some sleet, some freezing rain, and some snowfall. Elsewhere, the snow coming down rather hard around St. Louis. Major delays there, and more delays too for Denver. Here's our latest satellite picture. We're keeping a very close eye on a storm system that's parked across the nation's heartland. Here's that big storm system cranking up, spreading some very generous snowfall across Kansas and Missouri and Illinois. At last report, downtown Kansas City with 8 inches of snowfall. Elsewhere, though, St. Louis, 7 inches of snow. And over around Columbia, they've picked up a whopping 9 inches. And there's more snow yet to come across the nation's midsection. Farther towards the south, though, we've got the moisture streaming up from the Gulf of Mexico, and that's helping to fuel some intense thunderstorms in northeastern Texas. We'll take you back now to our weather map. It clearly shows this low pressure system that's parked over Oklahoma, and that low will continue on its east-northeastward journey, spreading the snow and the ice across the Ohio Valley and the central Appalachians as we go through the afternoon hours. The northeast, though, rather quiet compared to the weather elsewhere. We are looking at a few renegade snowflakes, though, around Buffalo and around Niagara Falls, and some lighter snow too around Binghamton, but for the most part a very quiet and a very tranquil day throughout the northeast. Certainly not the case, though, as we head towards the south. We've had this wintry mix plaguing most of northern Georgia. Still around the Atlanta metro area, a little bit of freezing rain, some sleet, and some light snow, so a wintry mix. The snow, though, starting to accumulate over the northeastern mountains of Georgia. There, a winter storm warning in effect up around Rabun County. As much as 1.5 inches of snow has been falling around Clayton, Georgia. Also, that wintry mix of snow and ice across Missouri and back through Arkansas. Now, another big problem, though, as this low pressure system continues to pull towards the east, it has been triggering some nasty storms for northeastern Texas. Some strong thunderstorms north of Lufkin and stretching back over towards Bossier City and around Shreveport, Louisiana. And with the air very unstable across the south, a tornado watch has been posted for parts of Texas and Louisiana. Purely snow, though, the farther north that we go. Some snow around Aberdeen and also around Huron, South Dakota. Snow and ice around Omaha. More snow over towards Des Moines, Iowa. And the snow coming down at a pretty good clip around St. Louis and Belleville, Illinois. Elsewhere, though, a weak front slicing through the Rockies, also triggering some snow. Snow for Boise and Idaho Falls, and more snowflakes flying back over towards Salt Lake City. And speaking of Salt Lake City, the temperature presently 25 degrees, but 19 degrees below zero up around Cut Bank. Temperatures also brutally cold across the Plain States. These wind chill factors driving temperatures below zero from Chicago and Indianapolis and back through Marquette, where it feels like 35 degrees below zero. The wind chill also coming into play too across the Northeast, with a wind chill of -20 for Boston and very chilly still too across the South.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Today's regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
If you would take a star and put it next to a house, if you could, a star would be like 20 feet bigger than the house. When it's nighttime in our world, it's stay in their world.
By providing 70% of all television designed for children, your local cable company is making sure there's more to kids' TV than Saturday morning.
If there's no gravity right now, you can jump all the way over those trees. All of them.
Wow. This is the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to for accurate weather forecasts at your convenience 24 hours a day.
Good morning. It's now 29 past the hour. I'm Bruce Edwards, and we've got a look at your Thursday forecast. And for the east and the west, it's going to be a pretty quiet day thanks to high pressure in the east and high generally dominating the west, though we will see some moisture filtering in with a low advancing into central California. The big headaches lie in the central and southern United States, where we'll have rain, thunderstorms, sleet, freezing rain, and snow. Snows will be heavy, and so could be the thunderstorms. So we're talking some nasty stuff here. While more of a nuisance than anything else will be the lighter rains moving into central California. We've seen occasional showers spin in already this morning, and we'll see a few more in and around San Francisco and over towards Big Sur. Southern California, partly sunny day on tap today. For the first round of the LA Open at Riviera Country Club, should be no weather problems here, with the wet weather confined to central sections of California. A little bit of light rain, 1/10 of an inch or so, 1 to 3 inches of snow up in the mountains, and we'll see more of that in the Wasatch of Utah and the Colorado Rockies, but nothing extremely heavy anticipated. The numbers will be on the cool side, though. 50s in the valleys of California down to the coast, and some 70s in the deserts, but mainly 60s in southern Arizona. And you notice it's rather cold as you get into the Intermountain region, with teens and 20s, the best we can hope for. Flakes are flying through the plain states, and it'll be fairly light snow as you get from Nebraska into Iowa. However, in a narrow band running from, say, Kansas City to St. Louis and over to Louisville and Evansville, see 6 to 12 inches of snow, and out of the question just on the northern periphery of this swirl of moisture. That's where the snows will be heaviest, tracking through the Ohio Valley today. So travelers, be cautious here. Allow extra travel time. Have your winter survival kit in the car just in case, because it's going to get a little ugly on the highways here, I-70 especially. 20s for highs here, and then we'll find the teens in single digits as we climb towards the Canadian border. Quiet corner of the country in New England, high pressure but cold temperatures, and we'll see increasing clouds across Pennsylvania and especially the Virginias as that storm and the moisture creep on from the southwest. So that means the snowflakes, which are flying now in eastern Kentucky, will continue to proliferate through the course of the day. 3 to 6 inches of snow quite possible into extreme southwestern Virginia, but more heavy snows for West Virginia and Virginia tonight and again tomorrow. So a word to the wise would be run the errands today, because tomorrow travel is going to be awfully hazardous across the mid-Atlantic states. 20s and teens for New England today, a few single digits up in the mountains. Showers and storms, some of which strong to severe across East Texas and Louisiana. An inch or so of rain there, with 3 to 6 inches of snow up in the mountain.
In a city where outstanding restaurants come and go, the sign of the dove has stood the test of time. So when Folgers wanted me to switch their crystals for our coffee, I put both our reputations on the line.
It's delicious.
It's rich. He wants another cup.
This is Folgers? I'm impressed.
This is terrific. Looks like both reputations are as good as ever.
Can I have more?
Maybe better.
Folgers Crystals, coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest restaurants.
Now for the Cyanate Society, here's Michael Learned.
Because I have sinus problems just like you, I want you to know about Maximum Strength Cyanide Gel Caps, the most potent pain and pressure reliever in cyanide history, combined with state-of-the-art gel cap technology. So you get powerful sinus relief that's easy to swallow and won't cause drowsiness. It really works for me, and I hurt just like you. Maximum Strength Cyanide Gel Caps, the potency of cyanide in a patented gel cap.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. The regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. Your local radar showing any precipitation and its movement during the past 90 minutes. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
It's coming up on 26 now before the top of the hour. In just a couple of minutes, we'll take a look at the cold weather alert that's in full force across the U.S. But right now, let's check some destination forecasts for those doing some traveling.
The Jimmy Hugas Center in Vail, Colorado brings you America's premier charity ski event, Jimmy Hugas Mazda Ski Express. The Ski Express will travel to 30 resorts in 19 states across the country to help people with multiple sclerosis. And you can be a part. Register yourself and 2 friends for the Ski Express at your favorite resort. It's fun for everyone, and you'll be skiing for a great cause. For more information, schedule of events, and donations, call the Jimmy Hugas Center, toll-free 1-800-367-3101.
Participate in Jimmy Hugas Mazda Ski Express at your favorite resort.
There's a reason more people go to Sears for a new battery.
Can't believe I left my lights on.
Only Sears has the Die Hard. Sears is so confident of Die Hard starting power, if you need a jump, Sears will do it absolutely free. Anytime, anywhere, even if you leave your lights on.
Got stranded once. Never again.
You can count on Die Hard. More power when you need it most.
The cold weather alert is sponsored by Sears Die Hard Battery for more power when you need it most. We look at the current temperatures across the country this morning, and it's sub-zero and well below zero on Glasgow, Montana, 20 below, Bismarck, 4 below, Duluth, 9 below, Green Bay, 2 below zero, 4 in Detroit, 6 in Pittsburgh, a dozen in Boston right now, 29 and snowing in Nashville, Tennessee. So we see the cold air draining to the south, and you factor in the wind, and wind chill factors up at Duluth feel like 33 below zero. It feels like 20 below in Boston, 15 below in New York City, 15 above in Atlanta, Georgia, with a mixture of rain, sleet, and snow around the metro area. A wind chill of 1 below in Pittsburgh, 3 below in Detroit, 2 below in Chicago. Now, tomorrow morning's lows will be below zero again along the Canadian border, northern New England, and the cold 20s drop down into West Texas. Wind chill factors now all through the plains, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast again will feel like 0 to 20 below zero, and high temperatures tomorrow are not going to warm up that much.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Special regional information. The regional forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Good morning, everyone. It's 22 before the hour. I'm Bruce Edwards. Glad you could join us on this Thursday morning, the 25th of February. As we start a look at this morning's weather, we take a look at the airport delays, and there are some in Denver because of some snow removal and some problems there at Stapleton Airport. Also, we have reported delays at Salt Lake City due to some snow removal this morning. Delays also around St. Louis now. And the reports are that some flights through St. Louis have been canceled, so you might want to check ahead if that's a portion of your itinerary through today. And delays at Hartsfield and Atlanta, where we've got a mixture of freezing rain, sleet, and snow around the metro area. We check out the satellite picture, and we can see the low pressure area really starting to take shape. See this circulation of the clouds right around the center of the low pressure here in Kansas? This is where some of the heaviest snow is occurring right now, from Concordia towards Topeka, Kansas, and then as you sweep in towards Belleville, Illinois, some heavy snows. But we've got it all. We've got some ice into Arkansas, southern Missouri, and into Tennessee, as well as leaking down into Georgia. Snow now breaking out as you work into the southern Appalachians around Asheville and Greenville and Anderson, South Carolina, and big thunderstorms rolling from East Texas into southern Arkansas and northwestern Louisiana. Here's a look at the west, where it's fairly tranquil. A low offshore spinning occasional moisture in, and San Francisco's seen a little bit of light rain, even a light showers blown through San Bernardino and some snow up in Blue Canyon, but by and large quiet over the western third of the country. But as the low approaches later today, showers will be on the increase. Snow from Boise to Idaho Falls to Pocatello down to Ogden and Salt Lake City, and occasionally a heavier squall here. Some lighter snows in and around the Denver area. And then as we work into the plain states, we see some freezing rain and drizzle mixing in with the snow around Lincoln and Omaha, Nebraska. Otherwise, snow through the plains. And once again, near the upper low, that's where the heaviest snow is. Concordia towards Topeka, sweeping through Columbia, St. Louis, and Belleville, Illinois. That's where the heavier snows are right now. As a matter of fact, look at this. Grandview, Missouri has picked up 10 inches of snow so far. St. Louis and Kansas City, 8. Paducah, 7. And it's continuing to come down, and it will be spreading on towards the east. Nashville and Crossville, Knoxville have some snow, but some sleet and freezing rain around Chattanooga down towards Atlanta at Dobbins Air Force Base. And now the snow is flying as you get into Anderson, Greenville, South Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, and the heavy storms in the warm sector of air here running from near San Antonio to Austin, Waco, Tyler, Lufkin, Texas, pushing into Texarkana, Arkansas. This is an area that is under a tornado watch issued by the Severe Storms Forecast Center till 11 o'clock Central Time this morning. So there you have it, a very volatile storm system in the midsection of the country making a beeline towards the mid-Atlantic states. Here's the National Digital Radar painting the picture with the bright colors into Texas. That's where the heavier storms are, as you can see. Shreveport, Bossier City now approaching Lufkin and south of Waco. The line is heading southeast. The storm's heading east-northeast at 40 miles per hour, and they're capable of producing some wind damage and some tornadoes. The moderate to heavier snows northern Kansas sweeping across central Missouri to St. Louis and Belleville. Notice near Nashville now, a little bit of sleet showing up on the radar, mixing in with the snow. Rain back into Memphis, but an icy mixture in North Georgia, and there's your snow in the southern Appalachians from Asheville south towards Anderson, South Carolina. Coming up next, we'll see where the storm's heading over the next 24 hours when we check out your Good Morning forecast after you check out this message and your local weather.
Every morning, everywhere, when the sun wakes up the sky, let Folgers be there to open up your eyes. A rich soul stirring brew, nothing that aroma can do, waking you and me, waking everyone in harmony. Best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Today's regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
13 now before the hour. Good morning. Let's take a look at your Thursday. And it's going to be quiet over the East Coast. It'll be generally quiet over much of the West, but in the midsection, the problems arise. And we are talking some heavy snows now into Kansas, coming down the rate of 1 to 2 inches an hour, moving in through Missouri, and the whole storm system will be edging steadily to the east. And that means some ice and snow for the Appalachians and some fairly heavy snows in the Ohio Valley. Now, into central California, we'll see a low pressure system approaching through the course of the afternoon. It'll enhance your chances for some light rain in and around San Francisco Bay and towards Big Sur and moving into the valley with some snow up into the Sierra. But by and large, we're seeing a partly to mostly sunny day across the west. Some snow will once again be flying into the central Rockies and the Utah and Colorado vicinity, and 1 to 3 inches possible in the central Sierra. Light rains, 1/10 to 1/2 an inch around San Francisco Bay and points north towards the Napa Valley and pushing towards Ukiah. Otherwise, we're talking about a quiet day across the west, relatively speaking, between storm systems, because that next one's going to spawn another big batch of moisture by the weekend. 70s in some of the deserts of Southern California, but by and large, we'll see 60s and 50s and through the valleys. A little cool and definitely chilly in the Rockies with teens and 20s for afternoon highs. It'll be cold in the northern plains. The light snow will persist across Nebraska and Iowa, but in the track of the upper low running now from northeast Kansas through Missouri and into the Ohio Valley, that's where the heavy bands of snow will be found. 6 to 12 inches of snow, St. Louis, Belleville, Illinois, Marion, Carbondale, Evansville, Louisville, that's right, and 3 to 6 inches widespread elsewhere. So this is a real humdinger of a storm. So be cautious if you have to travel. And my word to those that don't is don't. If you don't have to travel, keep it in the garage. Let the crews get out and clear the roads and let the storm pass to the east tonight. As we look at the numbers, here they are, teens and 20s overall, a little colder along the Canadian border, 30s in southern Kentucky. A quiet day in the northeast and in the mid-Atlantic, and enjoy it because the clouds increase, and here comes the storm. It'll be arriving tonight, so winter heavy snow warnings are out for the mountains of West Virginia and southwestern Virginia. For today, we'll see 3 to 6 inches of snow, including Lexington and Jackson and London and Corbin, Kentucky, while temperatures in the quiet weather in the northeast shows teens and 20s. Showers and storms have been strong to severe in East Texas, Louisiana, and then will continue to push on to the east with some locally heavy rains to the tune of an inch or more of rain here. Right on the northern periphery, though, that's where we get into the sleet, the freezing rain, and the snow into the southern Appalachians, where the cool temperatures.
There's a tropical island that's not on any map, though it's easy to find. It's warmed by the sun and caressed by the winds, with its own hidden treasures, local delicacies, and exotic festivals. But this island moves. It's a Carnival cruise ship. So if you go, get there on time and get out your Visa card, because the world's most popular cruise line doesn't stay in one place for long, and it doesn't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
You can use your Visa card at the Pearl Vision Center nearest you.
Dressing your kids for school can be downright elementary when you watch the school day forecast weekday mornings 35 minutes after the hour on the Weather Channel. Weather you can always turn to.
It's getting rave reviews. Business Week calls 1-900-WEATHER tops in the field. Call before you travel. 95 cents a minute, 1-900-WEATHER.
Do you want to make more money? Sure, we all do. So call this free number to find out how easy it is to train at home for a better career. At ICS, more than 10 million men and women have prepared for new careers without setting foot inside a classroom. And now at home, in your spare time, you can get your diploma or your degree. Choose from any one of these courses: high school, TV VCR repair, computer programming, electrician, animal care specialist, auto mechanics, bookkeeping, legal assistant, interior decorating, drafting, hotel restaurant management, learning the personal computer, electronics, or get your degree. You can major in business management or accounting. Make this important call right now.
Call now for the free information Sally Struthers spoke about. Then decide if you want to train at home for a better career to make more money. Call 1-800-247-4500. There's absolutely no obligation. That's 1-800-247-4500 for free career information. Call now.
You're watching the Weather Channel. Accurate and dependable forecasts you can always turn to. And when you're away from your television, the Weather Channel forecast is also available from the following.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. Extended forecast. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
I wish I could afford a comfortable pair of glasses. At LensCrafters, we believe everyone has the right to the best-fitting, most comfortable glasses at an affordable price.
That's why our wide selection of comfortable frames starts at under $50.
Now we have the prices you want and the perfect fit you need. I never knew LensCrafters glasses were so affordable.
LensCrafters, the right fit at the right price in about an hour.
LensCrafters, call 1-800-522-LENS for the location near you.
Now for the Cyanate Society, here's Michael Learned.
Because I have sinus problems just like you, I want you to know about maximum strength cyanide gel caps, the most potent pain and pressure reliever in cyanide history, combined with state-of-the-art gel cap technology. So you get powerful sinus relief that's easy to swallow and won't cause drowsiness. It really works for me, and I hurt just like you. Maximum strength cyanide gel caps, the potency of cyanide in a patented gel cap.
Humdinger of a winter storm cranking up across the southern plain states this morning. Here's the low pressure system, the center of the storm, and the upper level low pressure features up here into Kansas. That's where we're getting the snow, the heaviest of the snow. We're getting the ice here, and then out ahead of the cold front in this warm sector of air, thunderstorms. Now, that has prompted the Severe Storms Forecast Center to issue a tornado watch until 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for this region. And we've seen some pretty heavy thunderstorms here, strong to severe storms, and that threat will continue to advance east along with the front through the course of the day today. Now, under high pressure over the Ohio Valley and the Mid-Atlantic and the Great Lakes, we've had some record cold, like from Alpena, Michigan, and Flint, where it was 15 below zero, to Syracuse, New York, 10 below. Even Missoula, Montana set a record low. The best location in the nation, Cleveland, Ohio, 5 below. Detroit, 2 below zero. Even Bridgeport, Connecticut, 11 above. And this storm has also produced snow. It began early in the week across the Sierra, the Wasatch, and the Colorado Rockies with better than a foot of snow, and now it's dumping on Kansas and Missouri Missouri into Illinois, where we've seen a nice swath here of 6 to 12 inches of snow so far, and it's still coming down to beat the band. Grandview, Missouri, 10 inches. St. Louis and Kansas City both so far have 8 inches of snow, 7 in Paducah, Kentucky, and this storm system will continue to trek to the east, so that threat of heavy snow will march through the Ohio Valley into the central Appalachians tonight and tomorrow morning. So conditions here will be going downhill very, very rapidly, as the forecast calls for 6 to 12 inches here and in the foothills and in the mountains.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel. Coming up, a look at your local radar. But first, the current local conditions. Today's regional forecast. Your local 36-hour forecast from the National Weather Service. The current local radar showing any precipitation in your area. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the top of the screen.
Well, we dealt with today. Where's that storm going? How's it going to affect your weekend? Let's check the jet stream out, and I stand in front of this low-pressure area. That's going to be the big bugaboo on the west, as that upper low will sweep on in and work its way steadily through the Rockies to the plains, spread the next batch of unsettled weather into the plains for the month of March, which begins, of course, on Monday. The temperature profile through the weekend will still be warm ahead of the front into South Florida. We'll see some 80s there both Friday and Saturday, but you notice the 50s and 40s here across the Gulf states. These are a bit below normal for this time of year, while it's right near normal, if not a bit above normal, across the plains, and we'll modify more so on Sunday and Monday with the 30s and the 40s here. So that's not too bad, but it stays rather cool across the south. Here's the storm we're watching now. It'll march through the Appalachians tonight and tomorrow to the coast. Some locally heavy snows possible here. But then by Saturday, we get rid of this front, and only a few early morning showers will remain, and flurries and showers to South Florida. And then we look to the west with that low cranking up. We showed you that upper low. Rain and thunder with mountain snows in the southwestern quadrant on Saturday. Looks like third round action of the LA Open in jeopardy there for Saturday. That storm system works into the Rockies and starts to squeeze out into the plains Sunday. And Monday, we welcome the month of March coming in like a lion through the plain.
How many bowls of this cereal would it take to equal the nutritional value of the fresh fruit, eggs, grits, and bacon on Shoney's breakfast bar? Well, it depends on how big your bowl is. Cereal, bananas, peaches, melons, fruit salad, cottage cheese, bacon, scrambled eggs, sausage, potatoes, blueberry muffins, biscuits, country milk gravy, grits.
Shoney's Breakfast Bar, the best breakfast in town.
You'll find so much in Texas, it's like visiting a whole other country. When you call 1-800-8888-TEX, you'll get this free 264-page Texas travel book. Come on. For instance, you can stretch out on over 600 miles of clean, sunny Texas beaches. And if you live to shop, are you in for a treat? Call 1-800-8888-TEX, or just ask them. You can even ride the range on a real Texas dude ranch. Go! Texas is a food lover's paradise. Barbecued ribs, sizzling fajitas, our very own Tex-Mex. Remember, call 1-800-8888-TEX for your free travel book. Hello! Thanks. Boy, these folks are so darn friendly. Oh, Texas, it's like a whole other country.
Enjoy the following events in a whole other country. Call 1-800-8888-TEX.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealers.
Big headaches across the southern plains for travelers today. We have widespread snow from the eastern Dakotas back through central Illinois and into southern Indiana, but particularly cautious along I-70 across northern Kansas and all the way in towards St. Louis and over to Belleville. That's where the heaviest snow bands are. Now, south of this area, it's a little light snow mixed with sleet and freezing rain and drizzle, so around Wichita, it's getting very treacherous. Kansas City, it's very icy, so you want to be careful here. And this snow will continue to expand and move on to the east through the course of the day. The snow is now falling in the southern mountains of the Appalachians. Lighter snows elsewhere through the western mountains today. Now, rainy travel east Texas and expanding on in towards Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, and northern Georgia. But that threat for severe weather exists from east Texas, especially into southern Arkansas and northern Louisiana. Severe storms are a threat here, and pretty strong winds. Wind gusts around Guadalupe Pass should exceed 50 miles an hour.
For regional Michelin drivers reports, call the Weather Channel Connection, 1-900-WEATHER.
Let it rain. Let it snow. You've got Michelin's new all-season MXV4. A luxury performance tire with a very special feature. Climate controlled. Michelin. Because so much is riding on your tires.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you because so much is riding on your tires.
Now, your local forecast, accurate and dependable from the Weather Channel.